out of India. India's central bank governor calls for an outright ban on cryptocurrency. But hold up, we just covered last week banks, financial institutions in India that are using XRP on-demand liquidity, but not letting the retail hold it, right? So we know they're using cryptocurrencies, but the central bank, but the government wants to come in with sweeping regulations, control. While they launch the CBDC, they ban your ability to hold the real crypto that will be used on the back end, that is being used on the back end, that isn't for the little folks to hold, right? And we continue to see the use cases even in these other countries where the bank is actually going to be potentially holding the XRP or have a line of credit or be tapping into Liquidity Hub with Ripple. But the little guy that's in the village in Africa, he might not actually be custodying the XRP. This is where I want to see, the opportunity for us to reach out to people across the world. You might be listening in India. You might be listening in Russia. These BRICS nations, although it's fantastic to see, they're buying record amounts of gold, right? They're setting up new digital financial assets that are backed by gold in Russia. Oldest bank in Russia, Sberbank, controls a third of the assets in that country, launches a gold-backed digital currency, right? But then they go and they ban their own citizens' ability to hold these assets. See, what we have here is we have wholesale central bank digital currencies coming, and we have wholesale digital financial assets, digital currencies, bridge currencies. We could come up with another dozen different names, but it's a level that's not meant for us. Now, is the Fed going to buy back our XRP at 50K? Is the government going to take our XRP from us? Is there going to be a buyback? That's all a different conversation. We can see right now that these governments, that these central banks, while they partner up with Ripple, while they use Ripple on the back end, they're ushering out the CBDC for the little guys. Some of these CBDCs are being built on the XRP ledger. And what I am waiting for is the first central bank to announce that they are going to be holding XRP on their balance sheet, because that's going to be that final check of, yes, they are holding it as a reserve currency. It's not just going to be the little banks and financial institutions and money remittance partners in Africa, South America that are taking advantage of XRP for a competitive advantage in the marketplace. It's not going to be just that, but it's going to be central banks and these actual banks and financial institutions holding it on their balance sheet, saying that we don't want to have to rely on Ripple to use the XRP on-demand liquidity. We would like to have a little bit for ourselves, right? And then as more and more of our partners get tapped in, we get more and more corridors tapped in, more and more countries, then the network's set. And you just continue to flip the switch. One country after another, one bank after another, one financial institution after another. 75% of RippleNet clients waiting to flip the switch because of regulatory clarity. Now, we see some of these banks, Central Bank of India, some of these governments banning their citizens' ability to buy XRP and other cryptocurrencies, literally. In our country, we got put in a staged SEC lawsuit, and then all of our exchanges delist it, and it becomes very difficult for an American to buy XRP. So they couldn't get away with just an outright ban over here, right? But they reduced our ability to get to it. Meanwhile, they're accumulating amounts that we haven't seen yet. On-demand liquidity continues to grow. What was it, 9 times year over year last year is what the report was? What's interesting in looking in that is we have, guys, just a few years left here before they've rolled us over to the new system, before it's all tokenized, before this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity is gone forever. I am your host, Zach Rector. I really appreciate all of the love and support. If you want to support the channel, just remember that you can start by smashing that thumbs up for me, sharing this content far and wide, and everything else is at my website.